I'm economist and work as a technical advisor for the German corporation here in Brazil as well. And we work with the federal government of Brazil and also with municipalities and state and local governments here. And I have been working with the sanitation and waste sector for the last 3 years. And during this period, we worked with almost 32 municipalities in 5 different pilot projects, and also with the Ministry of Regional Development and the Ministry of Environment in Brazil. So my perspective will be more focused on the waste sector because of these recent developments that I'm involved. So in this context, I would say that German is a reference for us, mainly in the waste management. And it's very interesting to hear that German is more ambitious and want to do more. And I think Brazil must improve a lot in the next decades to be able to reach the NDCs and our commitments in climate change in general. So really, you can change to me?
Yeah.
Or?
Okay. No, I can change for you. I can change. You have 10 minutes, Guilherme. Okay.
That's great. Are you seeing? Oh, okay, that's great. So that's a context of the waste management in Brazil. We have almost 210 million inhabitants and a total of municipal solid waste per year of 80 million tons. We have 5,570 municipalities. The most part are small municipalities with less than 10,000 people. And also we have a huge problem here that the most part of these municipalities don't charge anything for the municipal solid waste management services. So it's a huge problem here. You can change, Rui, please, for the next one. And we have the final disposal of municipal solid waste in Brazil is a huge challenge for us. In the green side, you can see where we have landfills, and the head ones are open dump sites. So we have almost 3,000 open dump sites in Brazil that we still have to close. And these areas in white, we don't have any information, any official information. So it's the information and data is also a huge problem here. The next one, please. So the waste and climate policy is evolving in the last 20 years. In 2007, we established the National Sanitation Policy. In 2009, the National Policy on Climate Change. And 2010, the National Solid Waste Policy. And obviously, in 2016, the NDC. And our commitment is to reduce 37% of emissions compared to 2005 in 2025, and also a more ambitious reduction of 43% in 2030. The next one. In this context, the waste sector represent 5% of the Brazilian emissions. But one important thing to know is that the waste sector has the biggest potential of emission reduction in all sectors in Brazil. And what is really interesting to mention is that all emission reductions in the waste sector, the most part of the emission reduction are accounted and goes to reductions in other sectors. So in agriculture, in the energy sector, and industrial, in recycling to the industry. So it's under representative here, this 5% is not the right number if you think about mitigation. The next one, please. So the panorama here, we have a lack of implementation at the local level. We still have more than 3,000 illegal open dump sites to close, and it's very important to close and to implement the policies that are already there. And the national average for recycling and composting, the official number is under 2%, so it's very low compared to many other countries. The waste to energy is a special team that is evolving, but in initial discussions, we don't have any huge plant here in Brazil, as in we have in Europe and Asia and everybody and everywhere. And we have a high potential of GHG mitigation in this sector. And the most municipalities not have the technical capacity, and they are lacking support to define the most appropriate solutions. So the next one, please. So we have this Project Proteger here in Brazil. It's a Brazilian-German corporation working with solid waste management and climate-friendly technologies and capacity building. The next one. The cooperation is between the Regional Development Ministry of Brazil, the Environmental Ministry, and the Science and Technology Ministry. And in the German side, we have GIZ and the Technical University of Braunschweig. The next one, please. And that's great. So we are trying to develop high impact initiatives here in local level, mostly. We must generate data and information to be more transparent in the sector. And also we work with capacity development in three different levels, in the federal government, with the ministries and agencies, in the municipalities and inter-municipal consortiums, and also with the private sector. And we also have an education and research component that work with applied research and virtual learning, working with the University of Braunschweig and 9 universities in Brazil. Next one. Okay, that's only to highlight that in the municipal level we have a cooperation with 32 municipalities in 5 different projects. And we have a metropolitan region, we have 2 consortium and 2 individual municipalities. One of them is the Brasilia, the federal capital. The next one, please. So this is a common image here in Brazil. This is basically this kind of well is in a landfill. The most part of the landfills in Brazil don't have gas collection, and also they are not generating electricity with the biogas. But we can skip to, please, Rui. Then and the next one. But we are starting to have this kind of project. So in São Paulo, we have a huge biogas thermoelectricity plant now working. Is the biggest in Latin America, and there is a huge potential to generate electricity with the municipal solid waste biogas that we must try to improve in the next years. The next one. So during this work with the municipalities, we decided to develop some tools to improve the decision-making process they have. So we identified some the biggest problems they face and the barriers, both in technical, administrative, economic, and also in the climate spheres. So we developed 10 tools, different kind of tools that will be available for all municipalities in Brazil in the first quarter of 2021. The next one. We can, the next one, please. It's fine. So that are the tools. We have a guide to close dump sites. We have a planning and implementation of separate collection, a tool to integrate technological concepts and estimating technology costs, a guide for forming waste management associations and consortiums, a tool to estimation for the estimation of GHG emissions from the municipal solid waste management, a guide for preliminary feasibility of the refuse derivative fuels, the RDF production, and also the implementation of waste fees and calculation of waste fees. There are two complementary tools, and a guide of best practices, and also a mapping of financing mechanisms we have here for this sector. The next one. Okay, fine. So due to the time is ending, so I would like to show this specific tool. That is a tool for the estimation of GHG emissions from the municipal solid waste management. We developed it with the support of the IFOI Institute of German, and we use the life cycle analysis methodology to calculate the emissions. And what is very interesting in this tool is that we establish the status quo of the municipality, the emissions of the municipality, and also we can generate 3 different scenarios with different measures. So we can apply the measures, improve recycling, improve composting, generate energy, use